Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she needed professional help and making my girlfriend uncomfortable? My girlfriend and I have been together for 2 years. For the past year, though, we kept having some issues. One of those issues being posting on social media. She has a problem with me posting anything, which I rarely do anyway, and when I do, it's a meme, my cat, or art. Well, every time I did post something, she ended up upset and wouldn't even tell me why she's upset, even if I ask her multiple times throughout the day. I'm trying to be patient with her considering she's struggling with BPD and other issues, but I do too, and I feel like she expects me to fix her issues for her. When she finally tells me what the problem is, it is after a mental breakdown. Well, last time it happened, I posted some random art I found. She was asleep all day since she's struggling to sleep at night, and when she woke up, she was upset again. I kept asking her what upset her, and she only said, "I don't know," every time. After about 3 hours, she finally told her I made her uncomfortable with my post and said it's weird that I post in the first place. Kept asking why I do that and who do I want to see it. I told her I didn't do anything wrong, and I can post if I want to, and I don't need a reason to post something if I like it. That's when she actually got annoyed and told me I was mean to her, didn't consider how she felt, and invalidated her feelings. She also said I neglected her because I didn't show it to her and posted it instead. I explained that I didn't show it because she was asleep, and every time I did, she ignored it and changed the subject to whatever she wanted to talk about. I also said if she didn't like it so much, she should have said something in the beginning of our relationship, not a year later, and that I won't be changing it. At this point, she got really defensive and told me I was horrible and that I made her uncomfortable. Not gonna lie, this upset me, so I ended up saying she was being controlling and needed professional help for this massive reaction, and I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells because a stupid post makes her uncomfortable and she expects me to change everything because of her issues. I told her I tried to help as much as I can and reassure her, but I am also not in a good place and she can't expect me to enable controlling behavior. I did apologize after this because I didn't deliver it the right way, but I also don't think I did something wrong for her to react the way she did, and I don't think I can handle this type of reaction every time she doesn't like something. Am I the asshole? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I don't think my tone was very nice, as I was really upset by her reaction. Also might have been too harsh saying what I ended up saying. Maybe I'm the asshole for snapping at her. OP, all of this that you've just said is so overwhelming for me. I can't deal with this relationship and I'm not even in it. It's obvious you're trying to communicate and be fair about these issues with her, but it seems like she's throwing issue after miscommunication after antagonizing point after I don't want to talk about it. You should know what I'm thinking. I am getting stressed reading this. I wouldn't stay in this relationship. I don't think you're the asshole, so not the asshole. And now in the comments, not the asshole. But y'all need to break up and live separately, at least until she seeks treatment. BPD is one of those illnesses that the person suffering from it can ignore for years if they want, but the people living around them pay the price. That is not true. When it's feeling like hell for the people around, imagine what it feels like inside this person's head. Constant emotional chaos and no clue what to feel or why you feel so strongly. Always questioning why you can't keep friends or partners around even though it's your worst fear being left alone. Struggling to the point that you think there is no way out and life isn't worth it anyways. And edit, I agree with your first statement about breaking up though. As someone who suffers from BPD, yes it is. Yes, I struggled, but I also totally ignored how toxic I was until I got help, and those around me paid the price. Not the asshole. As someone whose ex was extremely emotionally and mentally abusive and manipulative, I'd suggest you rethink the relationship. I understand that this might not be what you want to hear, but she obviously has no plans to change and is putting highly unrealistic expectations on you by hoping you can fix her. She needs professional help and support that you are unable to give her, and my advice is that you do what's best to protect yourself and your own mental health. If you do not want to leave her, that's fine, but you need to start putting up stronger boundaries with her to protect yourself. Not the asshole. An explanation is not an excuse. Her struggle with BPD is valid and does need professional help. While people dealing with mental health problems absolutely deserve love, support, and lots of patience, they need to take action for treatment as well. As tough as it is for her, this is clearly taxing for you too. You posting online is totally normal, and the only time you need permission is if you are posting other people/private info. And with that, let's go to the update. Short answer, I broke up with her. She got therapy and seemed to be understanding at first, but then it all got so much worse. She started ignoring me. When called out on her toxic behavior, called me names, and the last argument, which was 1 week ago, she ended up screaming at me, calling me a bitch countless times, said, "Shut your filthy mouth, you little bee," and that's where it all broke out. Didn't speak to her for a week, and then I just had to leave. My mental health is ruined, and that's an understatement, and I'm also pretty sure she cheated on me. I don't know what to think of it anymore. Many of you suggested I should leave, and you were right. I should have left a long time ago. I tried to talk to her, but she won't hear anything but her own made-up scenarios. I tried suggesting going to therapy with her, as many of you advised me to do. It worked for a couple of days, but I guess it's pointless. Thanks everyone for your support and kind comments. Thank you for your advice and for reaching out to me. At least I know I wasn't crazy for thinking she was extremely abusive, but of course she'll never admit it. And now in the comments, hey, I went through something similar with my girlfriend, and let me tell you right now that the only person who can make her get help is her. You tried, and as someone who did this song and dance, you were lucky you got out when you did. I'm sorry, sweetie. I know how absolutely horrible it feels, especially when it feels like it's not their fault because they are sick, but they have to choose, and she chose this. I promise you, you will survive this, and you will be so much stronger for it. It hurts now. It's supposed to hurt, but it will make you better for your next relationship and for whomever it may be with. Good luck, and I hope you feel better soon. Having the courage to leave a toxic situation can be hard. Speaking as someone who had to walk away from my own toxic relationship, I know that it can be scary and lonely. I don't know about you, but I still felt lighter for doing so, even with the loneliness. I hope that you are taking the time to heal and that you remember to be gentle to yourself. Dude, I went through something super similar with my ex. I told her she needed therapy because she was faking multiple illnesses and lying about things. And then when we broke up, it all blew the F apart. She had been lying about way more than I originally thought. Manipulated everyone around her, sexually harassed our neighbor, and tried to cheat on me with him, stole her old friend's life story and sold it as her own for sympathy, and who knows what else. She told people that I was trying to use Homeland Security to assassinate her, stole my effing dog and multiple other things, and then fled the state. And now has been stalking me for a year after. It's been a wild ride. Here is my advice. Block this girl and all her associates and family on everything you own. Email, Snapchat, Discord, etc. Everything and anything. Don't make it possible for you to give in and talk to her again, or for her to just scream at you more. You don't need that. Change passwords for everything you ever shared or anything you wouldn't be okay getting taken over by her. Delete all photos of her unless they are super important for some reason. Consider therapy yourself. It's good for everyone, and it sounds like someone to talk about managing your stress about this situation could help. If she keeps contacting you to call you names, even though you've blocked her, private all social media in case she makes new accounts or gets her friends and family involved. If she really won't leave you alone after that, delete social media and get a new phone number. I have no idea if it'll get to that point, but it's good to know. Our next post is titled, "Today I messed up by leaving after my girlfriend told me she loved me during sex. First of all, I know I screwed up and I need to fix it. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 24 female, exclusively for 8 months. I asked her officially to be my girlfriend about a week ago, the last day of a vacation trip. We hadn't had sex yet, as she wanted to be in an established relationship first, which we talked about early on, and I 100% respected that. This girl, man, is different. Sex was of course on my mind. She's beautiful, but I would have waited as long as it took if it meant her being comfortable. Well, we had got wasted that night, had a flight early AM, and had a week-long work trip literally right after, so it didn't happen. Anyways, I get back, got to her apartment, long story short, she initiates sex. First, I want to emphasize, I love this woman. I've known that for months now. She's made me a better man. Neither of us come from the greatest environment, and I'm a lot rougher and guarded. She's been through hell, but remains so calm, soft, and optimistic. She's taught me those things. I've made it my priority since I met her to take care of her and put her first. But still, she shows me that love and care comes first over financial. I didn't expect our first time to be emotional for me. I'm the type of guy who has never really been in a serious relationship, and quite frankly, was a hoe that had calmed down before meeting her. She had been celibate for 3 years. Sex had been a touchy topic for her due to trauma. She had not told me any specifics aside from that, and we had that conversation maybe a month or two ago. It solidified me wanting to be careful with her. Anyways, we get into it. The foreplay is very passionate and intimate. Gets a bit graphic from here. And as I'm about to enter her, we were just staring at one another, and I was in awe that this is my woman. I ask her if she's okay, and she kissed me and told me she loved me, for the first time. I froze. Literally. I was already on the verge of tears, honestly, and for a split second, I had doubted if this was right. I had an instantaneous fear of hurting her emotionally. I have no idea why. And I stopped. I got soft and had to get up and excuse myself. I came back and she seemed so worried, and dude, I just didn't know what to do with my emotions. I told her I had to leave, and I left. She has not answered any of the texts, calls, or anything. It's been a full 24 hours at this point, and I feel horrible. And now in the comments, for the love of God, ignore everyone saying send her a link to this post. Sorry that in the most vulnerable and intimate moment of your life, I responded in the worst possible way and ran away, leaving you scared, alone, and questioning everything, validating the trauma that you'd worked so hard to overcome. But look, while I was trying to call you, I told 17 million people on Reddit about this, the worst moment of your life, and they said I should apologize and wished me luck. This is heartbreaking. I don't know how I would react if this happened to me. This is one of those times I don't think anybody does. I went through something similar with this, except he just ignored me when I said I love you. He asked me out 2 years after we broke up, tried to have sex with me, and then didn't see me again after I didn't sleep with him, just for him to ask out another girl and go official with her a month later. It took me a ton of therapy to fix the emotional damage he did to me, and I honestly think he gives zero crap about what he did. I will say dating someone else who has been emotionally open with me has been the most healing part of it all. My boyfriend loves me and isn't afraid to show me, and it's changed everything for me. She won't respond to my text or calls? Yeah, no crap. She let her guard down in a very intimate moment, and you ran. Now you are hiding behind a screen. In her mind, you find it easy to run and hide from her, but hard to go to her and talk. If the same situation happened, but the opposite way around, would you rather her try to text or call? Or would you rather her make the effort to at least talk to you in person? Good luck, and I hope everything works out. And OP says, man, I understand, but I am not having a hard time trying to talk to her. I will literally drive to her house right now. I just want advice on the appropriate way to do it. Going to someone's job/house unannounced, especially if it isn't welcomed, is not the message I want to send. I want to talk to her in person, but I want to be certain it doesn't come across as demanding if she isn't responding currently. Yeah, I get that point. Take flowers and a letter, write down everything you want to say in person. If she doesn't want to talk right now, leave the flowers and letter, and it will show that you want to fix it better than a text. A handwritten letter is better than font on a screen. You clearly love this woman, and I wish you the best of luck. Also, sorry if I came across as a dick in my previous comment. And OP says, not at all. I understand people wanting to give their perspective, but I appreciate your comment. The biggest takeaway is not to reach out solely over the phone, which I had been doing. Literally ordering flowers as we speak, and will visit her in person tomorrow. I know she's off from work then. And now on to the update. Firstly, thank you for all of your comments. Very few of you were actually pretty rude, but I suppose that comes with the territory of Reddit. Glad to say I can relay a huge F you to those telling me I had no chance. To everyone else, you all made me realize that in-person was better and soon is ideal. I went to her ASAP and here is what happened. Despite my long-winded posts, I am not a man of many words. Throughout our entire relationship, I tried my hardest to compensate with my actions. That obviously bit me in the ass when my actions did not align with my heart. I had to put my initial demeanor aside and pour my all into her audibly, and I did just that. Not sure how detailed I should be. I went to her apartment and she answered, not expecting it to be me. I've told her about answering the door and not knowing who it is, but that's neither here nor there right now. She was hesitant to let me in, but after pleading, she allowed it. I was overcome with emotion so much, so no words were coming out. Call me what you want, but I got to my knees in front of this woman and told her how I felt, how much she meant to me, how hard it was for me to be so open and vulnerable, and that I hadn't realized this until that night. My girl is very great at facilitating an open environment for communication, so this is by no means a reflection of her, but a testament to my upbringing. For context, both my girl and I come from abusive households. That reveals itself to her in her ways, though she handles it with grace and great consideration for others, whereas mine is very avoidant and closed off. Since a child, I never felt like a woman would truly love me based on what was instilled in me by my mother. We've had this conversation before, and she's aware of this. I'm currently in therapy, but I didn't expect to react that way once I'm in the presence of a woman who does in fact love me. I told her and reiterated that I will go through hell and high water to acknowledge my inner conflicts, not only for myself but for her. I emphasized I will also do this so I can show up for her emotionally and never to leave her in a vulnerable state again. I apologized and teared up and apologized some more. She just listened, crying, but listened. She knelt down to me and, unbelievably, this woman said verbatim, "I understand. Our actions are never a reflection of others, but of the relationship we have with ourselves." And she told me how she felt. Confused, hurt, and betrayed. Hearing that destroyed me, but she also reassured me that she knew who I was as a man and believed me to be genuine. She also threw in that if that crap happened again, I'd have no access to her, and she is her own priority above anyone else. Trust me, I will not be calling her bluff. She is very sure of herself, and I'm surprised she even let me in. She kissed me, thanked me for my honesty, and told me it was okay to cry. Man, I've always been told as a man I am less than for showing emotion. I never felt so open and comfortable, not even with my longtime friends. Nonetheless, I wanted to be sure that I was the one comforting her and not the other way around. I asked her what I can do, and well, we finished what we started. I made love to my woman for the first time. In the AM, I got us breakfast, making sure to leave a note so she wasn't caught off guard if she woke up and saw that I wasn't there. I'm going to marry this girl, do right by her and myself. She's going to be the mother of my children when the time is right, mark my words. Coming from a man who didn't see any of this for myself just a year ago, she really changed me for the better. I also want to note that, though my girlfriend nurtures me in this way, she does not mother me. I know there's a rhetoric of women building a man, and she's 100% facilitating my growth, but I am a grown man responsible for my actions and will make the effort to be better on my own. I do not want to paint her as weak for giving me a second chance like some of you have insinuated. Her support was and is something I will be grateful for forever. Also, I did end up showing her this post, and we laughed at a few comments. And what would you know? The girlfriend responds and says, "Girlfriend here, hi. With work, we are all capable of reaching the healthiest version of ourselves. This moment is not a mirror of our relationship, but a marker to my boyfriend's growth." If I can say anything to help anyone, I urge everyone to reach out to those you love and do better, not only for them, but for yourselves. We are not to blame for our traumas, but we are responsible for how they show up in our actions. Much love. And on that note, I'm not responding to nasty comments. Some of you are projecting and looking to tear a man down. I got my lady, and thanks everyone. And now in the comments, I'm glad to hear the outcome of this. I will say, however, that this kind of emotional and mental work is difficult, and if you get complacent, it is easy to go back to how it was. I see a lot of your mentality reflected in my own boyfriend, and his past emotional immaturity, for lack of a better phrase, has hurt me deeply in ways I didn't know that I could hurt. If you want to keep this woman in your life, you must be dedicated to bettering yourself. And OP replies, complacent, it is so easy to go back to how it was. Absolutely. I'm working on this for myself, most importantly, but definitely for her as well. Lovely to see a couple, each carrying trauma from their childhood, recognizing and supporting each other's healing and growth. I wish them the best. Alright, and that's all we have time for today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.